Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show on this Thursday, the 14th of January, 2021. Thank you for tuning in. What's going on out there today? I saw all these troops in Washington, like there's 20,000 of them, and like they're sleeping on the marble floor. And I seen this video, and they were panning the video back and forth. These guys are sleeping rough, on the marble floor, but can't they give them some yoga mats or something? I think it would be nice if they give them some yoga mats to sit on or something. I mean, they could roll up a little yoga mat or something. That's got to be hard on their bones, that marble. I wonder how long they're going to be on the marble floor there. I don't know. Anyway, that's happening in Washington right now, in the District of Washington, D.C. Anyway, we got a lot of other stuff going on. I want to talk about the Fed for a minute, and I want to get the chart started right here and take a look at what's going on. I want to focus on this. These are statements made by the Fed. Now, I want you to understand something about these Fed statements as of recently. They're giving these statements that would seem that they're going to be very hawkish moving into the future. And this is very strong positive dollar. And, it doesn't mean that they're going to do any of these things. These are very well orchestrated statements. These Fed chairmen and stuff and Fed presidents and stuff, they do not, like Bostic and Kaplan, and they do not put out a statement to the press unless it's very carefully thought out and orchestrated by the Fed itself. And I'm going to read three of these statements here. It says, I am hopeful that in a fairly short order we can start to recalibrate quantitative easing. And that was from Atlanta Fed President Bostic on January 4th. And another statement here. I don't want to prejudice right now when we're going to taper quantitative easing, but I would hope it might be this year, by Dallas Fed President Kaplan on January 11th. Now, see, these statements are very hawkish, and they're trying to make it seem to the markets and everybody out there that yeah, we got this, guys. This is no big debt problem or anything. We're gonna taper. We're gonna go back to. Well, they didn't say this quantitative tightening, but they want to get you to feeling like they're going to go back and they're going to reduce all this debt and everything else. Very strong and positive dollar statements. Another one right here: a rate hike may be more in play in the second half of 2022 or 2023 by Atlanta Fed President Bostic on January 11th. Who are they kidding? A rate hike? Are they joking? They can never do a rate hike ever again in the history of the world, unless major changes are made to the financial system from the way it is right now. Unless we go through some sort of a reset, then maybe they'll get their rate hike thing to be able to work again. But right now it's busted. It's totally broken. They can't raise rates. But the long end of the yield curve is starting to creep up right now. It's up again today. And the thing about it is this can blow up the financial system, but they're letting it go a little bit. They're letting it creep up. And this is very strong positive. This is very negative for gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies. These rates creeping up now on the long end of the on the long end of the yield curve. It's very negative. But, cryptocurrencies bounce back anyway. Let's take a look at the markets right here, and let's take a look at silver price. 25.54 today. It's up 36 cents for silver. But it's found a very narrow little range between 25.10 and 25.60. And it's just about in the middle, or a little bit on the high side of that range. Let's see what gold's doing today. Gold is $18.46, and it's up $1.80, and it's on the low side of its range. So here we go, boys. Cryptocurrency, let's take a look. Cryptocurrency's bounced back, and it's almost back to where it was again. It's at $1,061.9 billion for the industry. So it's back up over $1 trillion again, and it's made 61 almost $62 billion over that. And so we're looking at a Bitcoin price of $39,910. So you might as well say $40,000 a Bitcoin once again. It's right back up there again. Central banks are very negative toward it. What was the word Christine Lagarde used? I was just reading it a few minutes ago. Did she say deplorable Bitcoin or something like that? Something to that effect, she said about Bitcoin. They really don't like it, and they can see it's starting to muscle in on their territory. Now, at this point, it's getting to a size, but, how do you destroy Bitcoin? How do you get rid of it? You'd have to get rid of the internet. Because it's rooted itself. Like, there's a plant that grows in the southeastern United States called kudzu. And it puts roots way down deep into the soil. It grows over buildings and everything else, You see it on the side of the road when you're driving down the freeway, and it's awful hard to get rid of it. Well, that's the way with Bitcoin. It's rooted itself into the internet. Every computer that has the original Bitcoin wallet on it, is carrying a full node. Well, you know what that means? That means that every computer that's got that wallet on there has got the entire record of the Bitcoin blockchain going all the way back to the start. Of course, a lot of people don't use that particular wallet, but a lot of people do use that particular wallet. It's just that it takes like quite a few gigabytes of storage to store it on your computer, but you'd be surprised how many computers have that full record on there of the blockchain. They could restore Bitcoin just from any one of those computers that's had that downloaded on it, amongst thousands of them all over the country, everywhere, in every different country on Earth. That's like kudzu. How do you get rid of it? If the internet goes down, that record still stays on those hard drives. The record of every transaction ever made. It's pretty hard to get rid of something like that. It roots itself in the financial system. And at a certain point, it's going to become too big to fail. I figure once it passes 2 trillion, it's starting to get into too big to fail territory, where it could wreck the financial system if it fails. It could get to that size. Dow Jones Industrial Average today is up 91 points, 31,152. Now let's take a look at crude oil. Crude oil is 52.98, and it's up 7 cents on the day. The MOVE Index. One day up, one day down, one day up, one day down. But we got to keep our eye on it, because if it goes over 75, this thing can shoot up so fast. In just a couple days, it could go up past 75. This is what the feds watch. They watch this MOVE Index. They don't care if 100,000 businesses in the United States go under. They don't care anymore. They just care about this MOVE Index, credit markets. This was the thing. This was why they had to do their thing with the credit markets back in September of 2019. What was called the I'm having a brain fart. The repo market madness, come about by this. The credit markets having problems finding liquidity. Now it's not so much a liquidity issue in the system, it's a solvency issue that's going to start to come to bear on the system. A massive solvency issue. Anyway, let's move on. Bonds and rates today, we see the long end moving up, the short end moving down. And, they got to get control over this long end. They can't let these rates get too high in the long end. All debt is measured on the U.S. 10-year, and it's at 1.09 right now. Let's take a look now at the dollar index is 90.46. Now, you see, whenever the Fed makes these statements like, they can come out there and make a statement like of tightness. They're going to be tight and stuff. And these statements have a big effect upon the financial system. But they're very carefully illustrated, very carefully choreographed before they make any statements. They all talk it over in the back rooms. What statement are we going to make? And how is this going to move the market this way? And how is this going to move the market that way? Before they ever come out, they make all these statements to make the statement. Very carefully worded, too. Just the use of one particular word can change the markets this way and this. So they talk it over, and they probably, I could imagine them going into the back room, and the guy's supposed to make the statement sitting there and memorizing it, reading it over about 1,000 times until he's got it just worded just so he can say it in front of the crowd, in front of the microphones and stuff. What a bunch of what a bunch what a bunch they are. Okay, listen, guys. Thank you for listening to my show. Like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, and listen. Comments are great for my channel. Even if you just go in and say hi or whatever, comments are really good for my channel. They really help me out. And we'll catch you guys in the very next show. Bye bye.